Just what is the significance of the Eighth Amendment in the U.S. Constitution? This jewel in the crown of the Bill of Rights holds a pivotal position in our justice system. But what does it say and what does it mean? The Eighth Amendment states, "Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted." It serves as a guide for the principles of fairness and humanity. The Eighth Amendment, ratified in 1791, safeguards citizens from cruel and unusual punishment. It ensures that punishments meet the severity of the crime, that they're proportionate and just. It's a shield against torturous methods, against the government's overreach in its quest for justice. The importance of the Eighth Amendment can't be overstated. It's the embodiment of our societal values, our collective sense of justice, mercy, and understanding. It's a testament to our belief in human dignity, even when carrying out punishment. It maintains that sympathy is required to accompany all legal processes. Given its importance, and considering its highly contested parameters, the Eighth Amendment has been at the center of numerous legal cases. One landmark case that put the Eighth Amendment under the spotlight is Furman v. Georgia. This case, decided in 1972, centered around William Henry Furman, a man sentenced to death in the state of Georgia. Furman was convicted of murder during the commission of a burglary and was subsequently sentenced to death. However, Furman's legal team contended that the death penalty constituted cruel and unusual punishment, a violation of the Eighth Amendment. This argument brought the constitutionality of the death penalty into question, leading to a pivotal debate in the United States Supreme Court. The court was sharply divided, but the majority held that the death penalty, as administered, was capricious, discriminatory, and arbitrary, thus constituting cruel and unusual punishment. They ruled that the death penalty was not in itself unconstitutional, but the way it was administered was. This ruling effectively suspended capital punishment across the United States. The implications of this ruling were profound. It prompted states to revise their death penalty statutes to address the court's concerns about arbitrary sentencing. The court's decision also sparked a national conversation about the morality and effectiveness of the death penalty, a discussion that continues to this day. But perhaps the most significant impact of Furman v. Georgia was its influence on the interpretation of the Eighth Amendment. The case expanded the scope of the amendment, prompting us to consider not just the nature of the punishment, but also the fairness of its application. It reminded us that the Constitution is a living document, its interpretation evolving as we strive for a more just society. Furman v. Georgia significantly shaped the interpretation and application of the Eighth Amendment. It forced us to look critically at our justice system, to question the fairness of our practices, and to continually strive for a system that upholds the dignity and rights of all individuals. In the ongoing conversation about the Eighth Amendment and the death penalty, the voice of Furman v. Georgia continues to echo. Another pivotal case involving the Eighth Amendment is Gregg v. Georgia. Only 4 years after the Furman v. Georgia decision, the Supreme Court once again found itself tangled up in the nettles of the death penalty debate in the case of Gregg v. Georgia in 1976. This time around, the court was tasked with examining whether capital punishment in and of itself constituted cruel and unusual punishment. The man at the center of the case was Troy Leon Gregg, convicted of armed robbery and murder. Georgia had revised its death penalty laws in response to the Furman decision, and Gregg was the first person to be sentenced under the new rules. He challenged his sentence, arguing that the death penalty was inherently cruel and unusual. The Supreme Court, however, disagreed. In a 7-2 decision, the court upheld Gregg's death sentence. The justices argued that capital punishment did not automatically violate the Eighth Amendment's prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment. They held that the punishment of death for the crime of murder does not, under all circumstances, violate the Eighth and 14th Amendments. This decision marked a significant shift in the court's stance on the death penalty. It effectively reinstated capital punishment in the United States, albeit under stricter guidelines. The court's decision emphasized that a death sentence should not be wantonly or freakishly imposed, and that it should be proportionate to the crime committed. The Gregg v. Georgia decision had far-reaching implications indeed. It solidified the legality of the death penalty in the United States, but it also underscored the importance of due process and proportionality in sentencing, highlighting the delicate balance that must be struck between punishing the guilty and upholding the constitutional rights of individuals. In the end, Gregg v. Georgia served as a stark reminder of the Eighth Amendment's enduring relevance and its role in shaping the criminal justice landscape in the United States. The Gregg v. Georgia decision showcased the evolving nature of the Eighth Amendment. In the contemporary legal landscape, the Eighth Amendment continues to serve as a vital bulwark against excessive and inhumane punishments. The interpretation of what constitutes cruel and unusual punishment isn't static. It evolves, mirroring the changes in our society and legal thought. In recent years, the debate has shifted towards the length and conditions of imprisonment, application of the death penalty, the treatment of juvenile offenders. The courts continue to grapple with these issues, seeking a balance between societal safety and individual rights. Another modern challenge the Eighth Amendment faces is the debate regarding transgender inmates and which types of facilities and medical treatments they are to be afforded while in the custody of the state. Just where do we draw the line between the safety of inmates and the comforts of others? What even constitutes a comfort or a medical necessity? The Eighth Amendment, with its enduring relevance, continues to spark debates, inspire discussions, and challenge the legal fraternity to continually redefine its boundaries. Regardless of these debates, it will always be a reminder of the importance of fair sentencing. It will always be a promise to all citizens that humanity and mercy will be considerations by the American legal system. The Eighth Amendment remains our bulwark against the potential excesses of the judicial system, ensuring that penalties meet the gravity of the crime. It safeguards the balance between justice and mercy, between punishment and human dignity. This is the essence of the Eighth Amendment, a cornerstone of our Constitution, a beacon guiding us towards a fairer, more humane society. It's a testament to our nation's commitment to justice and human dignity, making its understanding an integral part of our very society. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Clump of Cells, and until next time, stay informed and know your rights.